Look at all of that rotisserie chicken. I just stopped by Miami's Costco and I got the best salad. I do not eat the dressing, but I wanted to show you guys how big it is. And ooh, I'm spilling cheese everywhere. And I like to put in their organic pumpkin seeds. My name is Sugi. This is the best dark chocolate channel. And I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience at YWAM. These are the Go Raw pumpkin seeds, the organic type. So I wanted to tell you about my YWAM experience, and if you don't like healthy food, get off this channel. This is not gonna be for you. We eat healthy over here. This is gonna be a mukbang ASMR, and subscribe if you wanna hear more. So I'm gonna be reviewing my experience at YWAM. Here it goes. Here's my first bite. I'm gonna get my thumbnail quick. So, pretty much, YWAM, it's a college where, if you're watching this, you already know it's a Christian college, and you go there for missions, obviously. Well, if you don't know, excuse me. YWAM is a college where you go. It's hard to explain because it's just a missionary school. It's a missionary college. You go there, you spend about 6 months of your life. You spend 3 months of it going to said base. I went to Kona ships in Hawaii. My Kona ships experience was I flew in from, I live in Miami. So my experience living in Miami, and then I went to Iowa, then I went to Kona. My personal experiences. You stop in, it's a beautiful airport. My Hawaii, Kona, Hawaii's airport is beautiful, and you're taken in, you know? You're taken in by the whole experience. The airport's beautiful. You go to your base, which is what they call the campus base, you know? Nothing wrong with that. I just want you to understand some of the logos that I'm going to be using. And this is my personal experience. I don't know how all the other colleges, because that's what they call it. They call it a college. Some people call it a cult. So, if you want to hear more about my story time, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit more about this cold chicken salad as well. And I just like a nice ASMR storytelling, if you're into that type of thing. Oh my goodness, you see all that chicken? One second. I couldn't do all that on camera. So YWAM, as a Christian school, it's very controversial. There's a lot of other videos talking about some of the controversy, but here we're going to be talking a little bit more about what they've got going on there. So you start, and I don't know why I'm so nervous. It's just like, it's a hush-hush community. You kind of pick up that energy when you get there. So there's people from, there's an ice cream truck right in front of me playing Jennifer Lopez. That's hilarious. You go in, and there's a very hush-hush community. My sister's been going there for many, many years. She's been going there for almost a decade. And that's a common thread you find with a lot of people there. Nothing wrong with that. If you love it, why not? She works there. I will leave what she does private because I don't want to ruin any experience from her just because you're going to hear my experience, and that just may not be something they like. So you go there, they start school, it's expensive, it's upwards of $10,000, and the campus is beautiful. So you go there, there's a beautiful campus on the top of a volcano. It's like a worship place, there's all type of beauty going around Bethesda Island. They built a college there, and the Hawaiians do not like the YWAM's kids. But, or we're young adults. We're young adults, and there's a lot of old people there as well. So there's just a lot of YWAM hate going on the island. I lived there long after my experience at the college. So what I will tell you is, by the way, I'm at a park, so if I'm looking everywhere, just bear with me. What I will tell you is pretty much you go there, you get your dorm, when you do your entry level stuff, where you get told where you're going to be staying, all of those things. I came a couple weeks early because I was staying with my sister. My sister, like I said, she lives there, so I was staying in $1 million mansion because she's really tied in there. And it was fabulous. I was there for 2 weeks before school started. Then you go to school, and in YWAM, they have you see where you're going to be staying. So you get that. I was really sick because of ocean, eating seafood and things like that. And ships is what they call the other small base. I was on the other small campus, which, like I said, campus is called base, remember? And right off the bat, I don't want to be negative. This is where I really get into it. Right off the bat, it's disgusting. I'm telling you guys. It's shrouded with a whole bunch of fake, no, you have to be grateful. And it's like, I paid $10,000 to get here. I'm not gonna be, excuse my language, I'm not gonna be grateful for a damn thing. Can you bring up your end of the bargain? I could have come here. I've been here for weeks for school, and like I said prior, I was there weeks after school. So I'm just trying to get what I paid for. Let me explain the living conditions there at YWAM ships. The roaches, I'm saying this over a salad, which I feel terrible. The roaches were huge. The roaches were so big. They were like, here's your Rice Krispie treat. They were like, they could get up to this size. Look at it compared to my head. I'm not being dramatic. Look at this compared to the salad. That's how big they would get. And there would be, there were so many. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you. There were so many. Let me give you one example that I tell all my friends. So you get there, everybody's beautiful, right? You go there, it's a beautiful island, you're in Kona, Hawaii, you're excited, you don't know what to expect. You get there, and everyone's super attractive. Everybody looks like models. They're from all around the world. Sweden, Germany. My best friend I met there is from Germany. We were just talking on Instagram this morning. Shout out to Lisa. Yes, we're still in touch, so if you're watching this, me and Lisa are still tight. We were thick as thieves there, and you always wonder, how are things gonna pan out in the future? And they panned out beautifully between us. She is a beautiful woman. Shout out to Lisa. Anyways, so you meet people, you just never know what the experience is gonna be. So everybody's having fun. There's a big pool in the middle of this, this busted down old hotel. It's an old hotel that's busted down. And I'm telling you, it's you look at it and you're like, why do I have to be here? Why can't I be on the fabulous? So there's 2 different campuses. There's one about a mile away that's beautiful with all the flags. If you Google it, that's what they'll show you. Ships, my experience at Ships, the one I was at, there's only one, excuse me, sector of the college where they call it bases. Remember that. They call it ships. And if you look that up, it's they don't try to show you the inside for a reason. It's disgusting. And it's they my dad does pool work for part of his work. I know a lot about pools, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that's about the only thing they have going for them. But you're right in front of an ocean, which you didn't need college for. I'm not being negative, I'm just being as a matter of fact. This is how I wasn't the only one that had this experience, but everybody was shrouded with just excitement from being on the island that it was hard to kind of look, because it was hard to, you were hoping for a better experience. Now, I understand that this is a missionary experience, guys, but this was expensive. Not to include, yes, it's impossible to work on the island. If you're thinking about that, if you're a young adult and you want to go on your own, or you aren't a part of a youth group, and you love the Lord, you read your Bible, excuse me, you want to give back? Give back. It starts at home. Don't let me tell you what to do if your home place is great and you want to go abroad. Go and do it. What I'm trying to tell you, I'm kind of getting full, and these flies are about to piss me off. Go and do it, but I'm not trying to be negative, so let me just tell you my full experience. Everybody's trying to be excited, and hopefully, I don't know, things change up. Maybe they switch people around, because they do try to say that, and I believe they say that because they don't want you to think, why am I getting stuck with this? You know, they really emphasize, oh, things change around a lot here. You may get moved here and here. And my sister, she works there. She got her degree and worked there, and works there. And she would tell me a lot of things, and everybody has similar experiences when it comes to that. But this is supposed to be a journey and escape. It's called a DTS. The DTS experience. Well, I cannot remember what the DTS broken down means. My experience with the 2022 experience. The 2022 DTS experience. I gotta tell you, everybody's beautiful. Everybody's really attractive. We're all having fun. We're all in the pool. Avoiding the roaches. They're big, you know. Everybody's screaming and jumping around them because it's horrible. You have like the meetings, and it was nice, you know. Everyone's full of hope. Everyone's like on their adventure. People are journaling. People are vlogging. You know, TikToking. We're having a nice time with strangers. We don't know each other, you know. So there's a couple siblings there, but really, you kind of, if you knew people, you're split. I knew my sister, but at this time, she either was doing things, or this was a time where she was like, have an adventure, go enjoy yourself, you know. So in between she and I seeing each other, I didn't know anybody there, so it really was a nice experience. And the island is so big but so small, and if you know, you know, and you'll have the experience if you decide to go. So there's just not a lot of, it's a small town experience, because you're not in a city. Kona, Hawaii is a small town experience. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but just so you know, you're not going to Honolulu, where you're gonna have a experience. By the way, I'm drinking the Kirkland water from Costco in Miami, you guys. I love these waters, they're amazing. You're not gonna have that experience, but I can't remember. What was I saying? I'll just zoom to this. We're all trying to be really excited about the experience, because the living just wasn't, you know, I don't know. It was